Yes.
Perfectly, thank you.
Sorry about that. I wanted to thank both of our co-chairs, Chairman Smith and Chairman McGovern, for hosting this important hearing today to discuss the challenges facing civil and political rights in Hong Kong. Since the imposition of the national security law by the People's Republic of China in May 2020, protections for individual rights, the free press, and democratic institutions in Hong Kong have deteriorated very rapidly. This law and its vague and undefined language targeting secession, subversion, terrorism, and collusion with foreign entities has brought with it a shared sense of fear and self-censorship to the people and institutions of Hong Kong. Hong Kong police arrested 10 people under the NSL on the first day after implementation alone and charged 6 political activists with inciting secession and colluding with foreign forces by the end of the first month, including Samuel Chu, who is with us today. Since then, over 150 people have been arrested under the NSL and sentenced dozens of pro-democracy leaders to prison terms of 6 to 18 months for peacefully protesting. The press has also been silenced, with the Apple Daily forced to close its operations under pressure from the PRC, and the New York Times moving its entire digital operation from Hong Kong to Seoul. Even long-standing institutions in Hong Kong, including LegCo, the education system, the judiciary, and even organized religion, have not been exempt from PRC intimidation. While the extent of the authorities granted under the NSL remain vague, the intent is abundantly clear. The Chinese Communist Party has moved to violate binding international agreements and norms to cement its political control over Hong Kong and silence anyone, Chinese or foreign, who speak up in opposition. The United States Hong Kong Policy Act of 1992 is specific in its commitment to treating Hong Kong as a separate entity from mainland China, so long as it remains sufficiently autonomous. The PRC has violated the autonomous status of Hong Kong and its institutions by every conceivable measure, and the Trump administration rightfully ended its separate trade treatment in July of 2020. As a government and country, we cannot continue to turn a blind eye to what is happening to the people of Hong Kong. I'm proud to be a co-sponsor of legislation that will strengthen our government's approach through the Hong Kong People's Freedom and Choice Act and provide refugee for those fleeing through the Hong Kong Safe Harbor Act. We must be more proactive, this Congress, in enacting forward-looking legislation to ensure the situation in Hong Kong does not deteriorate further, and provide tools to our government that allows us to build significant deterrence beyond sanctions that will force the PRC to think twice before violating Hong Kong's status further or threatening our own citizens. I look forward to hearing testimony from our witnesses on how we can improve our posture on Hong Kong and the role of Congress in making this possible. And thank you so much for having me, and I yield back.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Kim. I'd like to yield to Steve Cohen at this point.
Members of the Tom Lantos Commission who are present today. I'm sad